Trudy sitting in for Elias this week, and in transit we are talking about auto theft because it looks as though all the efforts to rein in the car theft industry, because let's face it, it is a huge criminal industry these days, but it looks as though efforts are starting to pay off. After the 11:45 traffic update, we're going to get into the numbers in a deeper way. But right now, I want to talk about the trend in general. And for that, we welcome to CJ80 André Durocher. He is the CAA Quebec's Director of Community Relations and Road Safety. And I might add, former cop. Andre, I remember interviewing you a number of times back when I was reporting, and you were a cop.
There's no way to hide anything from you, is there?
That was a few years ago. So tell us about this decline. I understand that the drop here in Quebec that they're looking at is 36% in the first half of the year compared to what was seen the year before. Is that the number you're seeing too?
Yeah, that is correct. The numbers I got from Equité Association is that what they did is they isolated the first semester of 2023, so from January to June, compared to the one of 2024, and it's down 36% in Quebec and 17% in the rest of Canada. Now, with that being said, out of experience, I would say it's a bit too soon to say victory, and we must not give up. We must continue. As we know, at the beginning of the year, there was a summit on car theft. And what it did is it sort of put the pressure on everybody because it's not the responsibility or the fault of any particular stakeholder. Everybody has a part to do. And I think what that summit has probably done is put a lot of pressure on everybody so that, let's say, the situation would have continued to worsen while nobody around the table wants to be the one to say, well, I haven't done anything. So it's a concerted effort combined with the fact that because there was a lot of media attention around it, I know that even individuals are maybe taking more precautions, locking their car doors, getting some anti-theft system, putting bars for steering wheels. So we'll have to wait and see a couple of more months to see if it's a heavy tendency, but it is, however, very encouraging.
So what efforts are we talking about, in your view, that have produced the biggest impact? It's
too soon to say which one exactly. I was having discussions with people yesterday concerning that, and can we put our finger on it, on the exact thing? I think so far the only thing we can conclude is it's probably a combination of factors. Now, which one had more weight than the other? We'll have to wait and see when we have more data to confirm that.
Do you think habits of owners are changing as well because we understand better just how big a criminal enterprise car theft is? We're being more careful?
I hope they do, because it has an impact on everybody. It has an impact on, car insurance. And as funny as it may seem, and sometimes I even smile when I say this, but when I was a police officer on the road, I don't know how many times I've taken reports of stolen cars for people who go to the dépanneur in the winter and leave their engine running with the keys inside.
Yeah.
So, that's a very simple precaution. All those car thefts at that time could have been avoided if people simply lock their car door and turn off their engine. So I think we have to be aware. And also I think the spotlight on car thefts has done, it impacts everybody. Imagine if you're a car manufacturer and you produce the vehicle that is the most stolen vehicle and you don't do anything. Is that something you're going to use in your publicity? Buy our car and have the most stolen vehicle? So I think it has put pressure on everybody indirectly, and it's a good thing because in the end, it's a bit too soon, but hopefully it can have an impact on our insurance premiums. I think that in the past couple of months, we've seen a lot of people from the insurance industry saying that, as much as maybe 10% of the premium can be attributed to the fact of the excess that they have to pay because of car theft.
Andre, one of the things that I found most disturbing that went hand in hand with this rise in car theft is the violence that went along with it. We started to hear, well, first of all, we had that situation where those car thieves tried to run down some cops who were flagging them in the midst of that happened in downtown Montreal. And then we started to hear stories about people who were having home invasions where the thieves would come in and just, where are your keys? Where are your keys? That's all they wanted was to get the car keys.
Absolutely, because of the profit. Because one thing that has not changed that much in sheer numbers is the amount of cars being stolen in car theft. What has changed is the reason why they do it. When I was a young police officer on the road, people would steal cars for joyriding, or they steal cars to sell the parts. Now what we've seen is cars being stolen to be shipped abroad. And because the money, the amount of money they can make is quite considerable, well, of course, they're going to put a lot of pressure, and they'll be willing to do more dangerous stuff in order to get away with it. And what they do is, when it's organized crime, there's various levels, and of course, the person stealing the car is at the bottom of the food chain. They're the small peon. But you get kids that are 17, 18, 19 years old, and you give them $5,000 or $8,000 to steal a car. Well, they're very tempted.
Yeah, you bring in the fact that those a lot of the cars are being shipped overseas too. It complicates enforcement, doesn't it? Because that brings in federal port authorities, for example. You get into the Port of Montreal. It's not that easy to go and get warrants to open containers and that type of thing. Has anything changed on that front?
What has changed is the pressure, the awareness, and maybe I would say the pressure of working more together. Let's not forget, even people from port authorities or from Customs and Border Services, they have to work within a legal frame, the law, and law enforcement authorities have different set of rules. I'll give you an example. When if you take the plane and you're flying out of the country, Customs and Borders has access to information that you did not necessarily voluntarily gave. You gave your name, you get your picture taken very often. So that type of information is not necessarily accessible to law enforcement authorities like the police because it was not given, with full consent. So that creates a lot of problems. But the fact that I think everybody sort of like brainstormed together to say, okay, what can we do to improve the situation? I think that has impact. And I think maybe, I'm just being a little hopeful here, it may be better a bit in the future because all the various units that put together the various multi-task forces, well, those are long-term investigations, and the pressure has been on really for about a year. So normally these investigations take a long time before you get up that famous food chain. So we may hopefully see some more results in the coming months.
André Durocher, thanks very much for the interview. It was nice talking to you again.
Likewise, that was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
André Durocher is Director of Community Relations and Road Safety for CAA Quebec.